Hey everyone, I recently made a shorts about Bond of Life, but I didn't do a very good job at explaining what my actual problem with it was. So, I'm making this video now. And hopefully I'll make myself clear this time around. Alright, pay attention. This is our healer trying to provide the healing for me. I'm very thirsty, I need a lot of the healing, right? Nothing else is going on here. You can see that the healing is going directly towards me. Now, let me introduce the Bond of Life, right? Which is directly blocking the healing, and instead it's filling up this glass, right? So, for example, if the Bond of Life is like very big, like in this case, then it needs to be filled up all the way, like all the way, and then it starts pouring out, and then basically this glass loses its purpose. It just doesn't exist anymore. It's as if it wasn't even there anymore. Right? And that's when you actually cleanse the Bond of Life. The problem that I have is that the only characters that are currently present in the game that use Bond of Life are characters that do not actually use it, but bypass it. Here's how Arlecchino utilizes Bond of Life. So, we have our Bond of Life, and all healing is negated. So this glass will forever be empty, alright? It will forever be at its max capacity. Then what's the point of having a Bond of Life? Why? You explain to me why Arlecchino works with Bond of Life rather than on stacks like these other characters do. I shoot with Lini and I have my stacks marked on the top left, right? Or like Heizo, every time he triggers a swirl reaction, he gets a stack up there. Why can't Arlecchino work on stacks and do damage based on that? Why is it on Bond of Life if she can't even get healed? She has Bond of Life, but she's not actually using it. Alright? So what does Clorinde do? Clorinde converts all the healing that she receives into Bond of Life. Meaning that instead of getting healed, your Bond of Life is getting bigger and bigger. Right? Something like this, you know? And then when she presses her skill button, this entire thing just stops existing, and you receive a bunch of healing. Now here's my issue with the whole thing. I do not dislike the Bond of Life mechanic. It's just that the only characters that utilize it at the moment are characters that bend the rules of it and just go around it. They say they're using Bond of Life. They could be using anything else than Bond of Life to do what they're doing. Like stacks. Now I understand that newer characters, in order to feel like different experience, have to play around the newer mechanics that they add in the game and all that stuff. But what makes me particularly perplexed about the Bond of Life is that Bond of Life is not something that we have at our disposal. For example, like, you tell me how am I supposed to have Bond of Life on my Ridesley, right? How do I get Bond of Life on him?
Just use flowing pyramid.
So Bond of Life is not something I can just pull out of my... I'm assuming that all this Bond of Life rule breaking will stop, and once again, this is pure speculation, but I am assuming that Natlan characters in the future will have will play a bit more around Bond of Life, because otherwise I just cannot explain what's going on with Clorinde and Arlecchino.